I am Hans and this is my channel. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we are talking about the DLX 250 Hawk. Let's go! This is the DLX. I get so many people that ask me why I paid so much for mine, because I paid like 2,200 bucks when I bought mine. And everybody's, oh, you can pick them up for 1,700 bucks. That is not the DLX. That is the Hawk. The DLX is the inverted fork, so it's got a nicer suspension and it has the fuel injection. So that makes it super easy to start. You don't have to worry about carburetors or anything like that clogging up. It just makes the bike a lot simpler and easier to ride, in my opinion. I had both of them, so I bought the Hawk first for 1,700 bucks, and it was a great bike. I changed the carburetor out. I put a couple different modifications on it. So basically, by the time I was done with that one, I was into it almost as much as this one. I sold that one and it sold really fast. So I think it's a desirable price point. So if you did buy one and just want to kind of ride it around and then resell it, that might be the way to go, because people just don't understand the difference between the two bikes. So they think you're trying to rip them off, all that. The price break on this is that it has the inverted fork. It's got the EFI. I've got it plated, so I had to go to the DMV and spend, I think it was 300 bucks. And then some of the modifications I'd like to do to this one would be to put some big knobby tires on it, because I did like the knobby tires that were on the standard regular $1,700 Hawk. I do ride it off-road more than on-road, so I would like to have a beefier tire, especially on the back. It's been sitting in the garage. We've had this really cold spell, then we had a heat wave, and I've got 4 other motorcycles I've been riding, so this thing's kind of been sitting back in the corner getting dusty. I haven't started it for a long time. It's been months. It hasn't even been on the battery tenders, so let's just see. Oh, it's dead. Oh, that's dead. Oh, excuse me. I can hear the fuel pump going. I've never tried this. I've heard people say that it's really hard to kickstart these things. It is really hard to kickstart these things. Whoa! Oh, I did it. So it's possible. There we go. So the Kickstarter does work. It just is a little bit hard. You gotta really hit it pretty hard. And it hasn't been started for a while, so it's been sitting. So right there's the difference. If this had a choke, we'd be messing with that, trying to get that set up right so we could get it started. Then we would have to let it warm up a little bit and choke it down so it didn't die. And every time it died, you'd have to kickstart it again. So when we go ride it around, this thing should charge up. We should be able to get a pretty good charge just off the engine, riding it around, so we'll see. I'm 5'7", so you can see I've got my shock on the back so that it's like as low as it'll go. But I'm on my toes, man. This thing it's a tall bike. I talked to a guy the other day who said that he's 6'2", and he said that he's on his toes on his bike too. When you're riding it off-road, if you do have to stop really quick to get out of the way of an obstacle, get over a rock or something, getting your feet down on the ground is really important. So if you're on uneven ground, you really have to plan for which foot you're gonna put down when you stop. I think we should take this thing for a ride, see what you guys think. One more thing before I forgot to mention, we are giving that 125 away that I have in my garage right now. So That's coming up here soon. Keep your ears open. I'm gonna come up with some rules and some things. I heard that there's like a lot of scamming going on with giveaways, so we're gonna be really careful about how we do this. I just gotta make sure that I let you guys know exactly how that's gonna happen. But that one is gonna get given away as soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you guys wanna help me with that, tell your friends, tell your family, sign up, subscribe, hit the bell, and watch my videos, and we'll get you some free bikes. DLX Stronger 250. It's actually a 230cc bike, not a 250, but they call it a 250. So let's try not to stall it. So it's been a while since I've ridden this bike, and it is, I don't know, I'm just a street bike guy. This is a dirt bike. Feels different, feels a little weird, and I don't have any gas. Look at that. Where is all my gas? Let's talk about gas mileage on these things. This thing has been filled up one time since I got it, and I have 126 miles on it. I'm on E, but I put a little bit of gas in it to get it to the gas station so I could fill it up when I first started it up. Took it to the gas station, filled it up, and now finally we need to get more gas. So we are on our way to get more gasoline. Gas stations are busy. Those are the houses up there. We're gonna go up on that hill right there. So that is the goal, the plan right now. So we kind of dip down into the river here, and we'll come back up, and we'll kind of just do a test and see how this thing does on the hills like the other one, and just kind of to be fair to comparison, get an idea of the difference of these two bikes. But yeah, this dirt bike's fun to ride for sure. It's definitely different. It's not a street bike. It's got kind of just top heavier, feels like, but it pulls out of the corners nicely. It's got good geometry. It feels good, comfortable. These two cars are gonna ruin my test. I'm gonna go really slow. Oh, look at the river. Look how pretty that is. First gear, second gear, third gear. Lots of pull. Fourth gear. I gotta say the KPM felt like it had a little more torque, which is really weird because you'd think this would have a lot more torque being an off-road bike. So yeah, this thing has got lots of power. We're kind of at the top of the hill here now, but like I said, I thought it would have a little bit more torque. The other thing about this bike is it's a 5-speed, not a 6-speed, so kind of feel like you need one more gear, but we're gonna do a top speed test. I think that's gonna be the true answer to, do you need a 6th gear or not? I'm gonna say yes you do, but we'll see. Can I get going 65 or 70 miles an hour to ride this thing on the highway? Would you want to if that's all that you could do? Because a lot of times on a bigger bike you can get yourself out of a lot of trouble by having extra torque to get yourself out of a tight situation. 4th gear, 43 miles an hour. Need something a little straighter. Straightaway. 5th gear. Full throttle. 55. 58. 60. 64. 65. Yeah, so that was a 65 mile an hour go at it, and it didn't feel like there was much left. We were hitting pretty top of the, getting close to the red line. I definitely feel I keep trying to shift into the 6th gear, but there is no 6th gear. We are here at College Way again. So, like we did yesterday, we're gonna test this thing going up these hills, and it's a pretty steep, like straight up climb here, so we're gonna going right up there. Just not catching a break with a fast car. Here we go. 3rd gear. Good, and pull out in front of me. Yeah. Okay, so that's 4th gear. 40, 42, 43, 45. So this thing definitely that's 5th gear. So we're going almost 50 in 5th gear there. Going up this hill. This is the steep one though. Yeah, this thing definitely pulls. It's got a lot of torque. This was a better test than the other hill, I think. So this one definitely is very torquey. At that view. See, this is how high we came. We just climbed all the way up here. There's the old mill, Pilot Butte. So this is the road that we just came up. So we're gonna go down this road and do a brake test now. Make sure that we don't run into anybody. I do wish this had a 6th gear, that is for sure. It does have a lot of compression torque. I haven't really even had to use my brake yet, and we are going down. But all I have to do is let off the throttle, and it seems to slow down pretty good. 32, 31. I've heard people complain about lack of compression on these bikes. I have not experienced that at all. I've had nothing but good experience with this bike altogether. When I got it, I really went through all the bolts, made sure everything was tight, everything important, and even stuff that I didn't think would be important. I didn't find anything that was like significantly out of place. Front brake works good, back brake works really good. Woo. So yeah, we got brakes and we can go and stop. Those are 2 really cool things. Look at that. Ooh. Sorry, should have slowed down a little bit more. It's so beautiful down here. The other Hawk that I had, I think I put 200 or 300 miles on that one. Just getting that thing to run right with the carburetor that I bought, it was just tweaky. So I had to do a lot of like start it up, warm it up, see where the choke is, do adjustments, and so there was a lot more kind of just test riding I had to do to get that one to get tuned up the right way. So overall, do I think this bike is worth getting? Yes, I do. Especially if you're, adventurous and you want to get off-road and go explore, other parts of places, dirt roads, fire roads, whatever you want to call them. We got lots of fire roads out here where we live, and it's really cool to go out, kind of get lost on them. It's easy to get lost too, but usually they'll spit you out someplace where either by a highway or something, so it's pretty easy to figure out where you are. And GPS and phones and all that stuff make it really impossible to get lost these days. You just don't want to get lost and run out of gas. Then you're hiking. Let's go out to the airport. This used to be an old airport right here. It goes all the way down that way, and it went down here. And if you didn't take your airplane off, by the time you got down here, whoa, then you crashed into this big huge rock pile. So you had to make it. So yeah, you wanted to really make sure you got your airplane off the ground by then, and if you didn't, then you fell into that big canyon right there, and the Chutes River runs through there, so there would just be like a pile of airplanes down in there, and you could see where some of them scraped up, like right here, and they shot over, and there's just piles of airplanes down in the chutes down there. So you don't want to go down there. Woo! Yeah. But to be honest with you guys, this actually was an old airport, and they are building houses out here now. But you can see that I'm not the only one that's been riding out here. So you can see this goes right down there. And I've ridden my KPM, my CBR out here, and this is dirt out here, and they both handled pretty well. Actually, almost better than this thing. So that's the old airport right there. You can see there's a hangar kind of off on that side. You probably can't see it, but there is a hangar out there. Would I recommend this bike? Yes, if you're a beginner and you want to get off-road and you feel like getting out and getting adventurous, this is a great bike. It's tall, keep that in mind. If you're shorter than me, you're probably gonna have problems riding it. I don't know, when I was a kid, I always rode my bike like that, you know, in one leg on, and then when you got going, you just scoot yourself up. It's possible, and I've seen people do it, but you might want to consider something smaller to get started on, just to give yourself a chance to learn how to ride a bike. The biggest thing when you're riding a new bike is you just want to be comfortable. You want to have the opportunity to learn how to use your clutch, to learn how to shift, to use your brakes. There's lots of stuff going on that you have to think about when you're riding a new bike. So keep that in mind when you guys are looking at these. The Hawk DLX and the standard Hawk are both the same size. So it's the same frame, it's just a different carburetor and shock system in the front. One last reminder, don't forget about the 125 in the garage that we are giving away. If we're gonna get there, I gotta get 10,000 subscribers, and then we're gonna pick one of those subscribers between 1 and 10,000. So you could have been my first subscriber, you could be my last subscriber, or anywhere in between, and we're gonna pick one of you guys to win that bike. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you guys wanna see more content like this, wanna get notified next time I make a video, hit the bell button, and you will see me in the next video.
Let's go!